back to another episode of I Got Big Balls. Pause.
I got big balls. Hey, 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 hey. I got big balls. Hey, 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 hey. I got big balls. Hold up one time, do it. Hold up one time, big balls. Hold up one time, do it. Hold up one time.
Once again, it's on. It's your boy E1 Don signing on. Salute. That's E the number 1 DON on all social media. Show's brought to you by CrunchTimeMedia.net for all your photo, video, and merchandise needs. You know, log in, get you big bowl shirts, cereal connoisseur. We got those on deck. Got a new cereal connoisseur design coming soon. So just click the link in the bio, go to the merch section, and check it out. Of course, we are live Hip Hop Daily. Make sure you guys download the app, go to the website, a lot of great programming. This is one of them. We got Big Bowls Pause. We got more cereal, we got more guests, and we got more bowls. Got my co-host in the building, Danny Digital.
What's going on? It's your boy Danny Digital. I want you to follow me on all social platforms at Danny Digital. That's DANNYDIGITALL. Check out some of the photography and video content I got available for you guys.
We got a real special guest in the building. We got Justin Blue.
Justin Blue. I'm gonna follow his lead. Follow me on all my social media, JustinBLU_ JustinBlue.com. Education and life lessons from a black perspective. All of those things. So, about to get into it today.
All right, so we're gonna get into what you got going on, and as always, we're gonna get to some cereal. Show. Hey man, so like I was saying, man, big fan of the content you've been producing, man. Like you've been doing your thing for a while, and it's crazy because we get to these certain heightened, it's a heightened elevation of the where the energy is at, as far as everybody talking pro-black, but there's people that's been doing it like yourself, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like y'all been staying on this energy the whole time. So what's some of your introduction, your background into even getting into this, this way?
Well, okay, so my background is very diverse. So my father was into politics to a certain extent, and also the college background. So, and then dealing with police brutality, police harassment myself, and seeing the results of it, seeing how there's so many broken things in the system. All of that combined really just led me to wanting to inform people as much as possible, work to find ways for a change as much as possible, and just been on that continual journey. So one thing that I've found is it's almost like a lot of people don't have the answers. Everybody's looking for an answer. Even a lot of the folks that we call leaders, they're still trying to find their way. And if you just look through the history of us as a people, it's been that continual journey of, all right, well, what's the solution? And so I'm on that journey of what's the solution too. And throughout it, I'm gonna be trying different things. I'm gonna be working towards different tactics. And so that's what I'm on, bringing everybody with us, because it's a collective effort to really find out like what's the best way to attack all these issues.
You think we're getting closer to that solution with everything that's been going on? Police brutality has been going on for years, hundreds of years. It seems like people are really getting fed up this time. Even the people who are not black, but we've seen this before. We've seen it die down, seen things go back to normal. How you feel about this time? Is it this is gonna be the push we need?
It adds to it. That's my take. Is that it adds to it. So many people, we had this view that, all right, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna have the ultimate freedom. We're gonna do this, we're gonna have the ultimate equality. And so every day, every year, every month, that's how we've been viewing things. But really, it's on the timeline, it's, in my opinion, it's gonna be a lot longer than that. Because when we first stepped off the boat and we got here, I'm sure the very first time we stepped on the ground, we said, all right, by next week, we gonna be free. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it was always that, okay, all right, after this revolt, we gonna be free. Right. All right, once we get freedom, we gonna be free. So
never was free.
In the history of it, every single time that we've made progress, and progress is an opinion, but every single time we've made progress, we've realized that, okay, well, the marker is actually further than what we thought it was. So right now we're focused on police brutality and everything, just the system with that. But okay, let's say we conquer that tomorrow. There's still other markers. Not to say though that all the work is in vain. It's just that similar to that first person who got off the boat and was fighting, that was just as important as the person who was fighting the day we we got freed in the sense of chattel slavery. So it might be hundreds of years, you know, and when we really think about time, it hasn't really been that long of time. Even America's existence isn't really that long in the grand scheme of things. So I think that in our mind, something is a long time, but really it's so short in all our efforts. We probably won't see what we're fighting for today, but all of those contributions, they're gonna add to it in the long run, similar to everybody who fought and ran as soon as they stepped off the boat, that contributed to when we finally were able to get out of chattel slavery. So that's my take. There's more to be said on that, but yeah.
You know what it is. Dope. And I know just from being like, people probably see you on social media, and I'm pretty sure you get things like, oh, you're so articulate, you know, you're a good speaker. Like, where is that, like, being able to communicate on a way that people can get it, you know what I mean, come from? Like, I know you said you had some parents in politics. Did they instill that, you know?
Well, it came from, I started out doing music.
Okay.
So my entire childhood, I started writing music, writing choruses, writing full songs in 4th grade, and recording and producing all those things. So I try to get people to understand, if you can write a good song, especially if you can put your emotions and your feelings and express a message or tell a story while rhyming at the same time, just imagine what else you could do. Because it's an ingenious form of expression. So just that whole entire skill set, it just led over to me being able to connect in other ways, especially when it comes to connecting with us and getting the message out in ways that we understand, because that's really what we're doing on the street level every single day. Especially in this music, it's getting the message out, but it's telling you a story, it's telling you what's going on, but it's telling you in a way that CNN isn't gonna be able to do. It's just like hip hop, music period, but hip hop especially, it's always been communicating. It's always been almost a way to communicate culture from the streets, because that was, for a long time, that was the only voice we really had, was that outlet. So now, but I realized though, now with social media and now with all these other platforms, we don't necessarily have to rap in order to get our message out. Now, we can just go ahead and get the message out. So that's where it comes from.
Message, I think, is going to attract people. I know the first time I came across it, I'm like, okay, brother talking about something. And then the next time I come around, I'm like, let me follow this, because I can hear where it's going, you know what I mean? So, you know, shout out to everybody doing their thing online, because a lot of people look at certain people may be just doing something on the internet and they don't value that because they don't see it being done in the streets. But I think all of it, if it's positive and you're putting it out there into the atmosphere, you know, it can be helpful, you know.
For sure.
Right.
I think
a ton of bullshit out there.
Right. People post bullshit all the
everybody
time.
got a lane. Everybody, you know, everybody's job is to contribute however they can.
Right, so that leads to what I was gonna ask you about. What's information versus knowledge? You know what I mean? Like, we're like in the information age, so you got access to so much information, but it seems like people will still gravitate to the same things that they always gravitate to. It's like simple entertainment, but it's like you got access to, I mean, everything. What's your take on, like, how do you turn the information into knowledge?
Oh, I would say just ignorance is bliss. So it comes from that desire. Something that was hard for me to come to terms with, but I had to come to terms with it, is one, you're not gonna be able to save everybody. Everybody's not gonna wanna save themselves. So you do what you can, you help who you can, you lead them to the water, but you can't force anybody to drink. But for those who are drinking, you know, you pour into them more. So that's my philosophy on it. It's too much information out here for us to not take advantage of it. It's way too much. So, you know, you can basically Google anything on your phone.
Exactly. And like, even when you do a lot of your messages, you drop statistics with it, so that let people know, like, you can go check this out and see if this is real or not for yourself. You know what I mean? So it's up to a lot of people. Do you want the information? Do you want the knowledge? So, but speaking of that, you know, you got a mentorship, Speak to Our Sons, the SOS.
Right. So yeah, Speak to Our Sons mentorship series is extremely important because a lot of us haven't grown up with fathers in our household, or a lot of us haven't had positive male role models around us. Many of us have as well. That's important to include. Many of us have, but there's a lot who haven't. So I run into one specifically, a lot of single mothers who are raising black males, and they're looking for ways to rear them the best they can as much as possible. So even myself at my age, I still have to call my father for life advice as a man. It's still been situations to this day where I have to call him and he'll help me navigate it. And so I'm thankful for that, but I also think about who's never had that. And it's so many young males that's trying to just find out the definition of manhood, and you can ask a million different men what it means to be a man, and you'll probably get a million different variations, a million different answers. But there are principles and guidelines that are essential and are different life lessons that should be passed down that a person doesn't have to learn the hard way or learn when it's too late. So just including those things, there's areas covered such as respecting women, domestic violence, sexual assault, and not looking at women as property. Right. Very important. There's lessons in there regarding how to handle encounters with law enforcement and police, how to navigate the education system. So there's one lesson that's K through 12, and then there's another lesson that talks about it as far as going to college and not blowing your student loan money.
No one helps you. No one helps you at the high school.
Right. Another lesson is the illusions of being a dope boy. And it breaks down pretty much how the average dope boy actually makes less money than somebody working minimum wage due to all the hours and that when you actually break down the math of it. Right. So it goes into all those things along with giving solutions. So I tell you not to go the dope boy route, but hey, this is the route you can take, and these are different ways that you can look into and make sure you take care of yourself, take care of your family. So the Speak to Our Sons mentorship series is so vital, and it's really trying to push that out.
Well, I like that, you know what I mean, which brings me to my next point, like education, you know, the traditional method versus independent study, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, what was more so your route? Because like you probably have some of both.
It's a mixture. It's definitely a mixture. I'm not gonna tell people not to go to school because everybody has a different path, but I will say that the current education system as far as going to college is finessing us drastically. It's the only place where the cost of it has gone up unlike almost any other industry, but the return on the investment has plummeted almost like any other industry. So you're paying more money, we're paying more money for these degrees, but the value of it is going down. On top of, you got access to almost everything you need. And so in this day and age, we have more freelancers than there's ever been in the history of mankind. So for them to be charging as much money as they're charging, and for people to not be receiving a return on investment on top of having more resources than they've ever had, what are we doing? And so for black people, a lot of us are swimming, deep diving in student loan debt and having a hard time getting out of it, because once we do step out of school, a lot of times the white person who just only went and graduated high school, they may have an equal or a higher chance of getting the same job that we might have went to school for 4 or 6 years. So I just want black folks to know that understand what you're getting yourself into. You know, you can understand it, a lot of times it's a finesse. For myself, I've gone to grad school, but my main goal for going to grad school wasn't really about the grad school aspect, although I did learn. I went and studied African American studies, so I knew that I was gonna be focusing in that area. But the larger part was, okay, transferring to Atlanta. They won't give you a business loan, but they'll give you student loans in a heartbeat. But you can use your student loan like a business loan if you understand that the system can be a trap. So it's just various ways. Just be aware that it's not the key. It's not a lot of times they just give it to us like, all right, once you get this piece of paper, life is just gonna be this fairy tale.
Anybody will hire you.
Right.
Yeah, it's an illusion.
30, 40, 50, $100,000 worth of debt, and I was like, you know, I'll go through that myself. So back when I would take the calls and I'd be frustrated and I'd be like, yo, you wouldn't give a kid $20,000, $30,000 with no job and no other instance, like no.
Right, you go to school. Oh, here you go.
Yeah, right. Because student loans, that's one of the few types of loans where even if you file for bankruptcy, you cannot swerve them student loans.
Right. They stay with you.
They know that though. Because you can file for bankruptcy through a business loan, but student loans, Yeah,
They
you
gotta
taking
get
that to the casket if it's on you.
And just going to someone else once you hit the casket.
You can pass
Someone's paying
that
that bill.
Dope. I also want to talk a little bit about the protests and the riots, because a lot of people came out early speaking negatively about some of the energy that was in the streets, but I feel like it was that same energy in the streets that led to a lot of the corporations having to speak on this. You got corporations talking about they're finna make Juneteenth an actual holiday on their schedule now. Like the NFL is talking like, the NFL, like y'all were the main people.
Man.
Yeah, fuck some shit up first.
Oh yeah, I can talk about. Oh, you ain't even asked the question. I'm gonna let you ask the question.
No, I was just thinking, what's your thoughts on the energy that's in the streets right now?
It's necessary. It's necessary. All of it is necessary. So you got people who's saying, oh, I don't know why they up there peacefully protesting. And then you got the people that's saying, oh, I don't know why they burning stuff down. Everything has a role. From the person who's at the front line, to the person who's in the back burning up the building, to the person that's on the ground making sure that it's documented properly. All of it has a role. So, okay, on the peaceful protesting tip, many people don't understand why peaceful protesting has been effective in many ways. So Martin Luther King, folks think that he just had this grand philosophy of getting beat down and just loving white people, and that's gonna be the solution. That's not why the nonviolent movement came about. He understood that the world needed to see who was the aggressor and who was being victimized, who was being oppressed. Because when there's a fist fight and you run up on it in the middle of it, you don't know who started the fist fight.
Right.
You don't know who was in the wrong, you don't know who was in the right. So he understood that if they were marching and everybody's fighting back and the news cameras come, because they come when the action start.
Right.
You see black people swinging, you see white people swinging. So who's in the wrong? So it's hard to
Get that message, especially on the world.
to express to the world that this is going on. But he understood that if it was so blatant that this was occurring, that the media would pick it up and the world would know, and so it would eventually affect economics in America. So it all came back to economics. It wasn't about just getting beat down and then just praying about it. No, there was a method behind it. So the same thing applies to these protesters who are going peacefully at the front lines. They might get sprayed with mace, but the fact that they're not violently fighting back, the media is catching that, so it makes it obvious to understand they're being oppressed.
Right.
At the same time, though, you need the ones that's burning things up, the ones that's causing havoc, because now you're digging into people's pockets. You're affecting the economy in certain cities. So that's gonna force those businesses it's gonna make it in their best interest to make sure this doesn't happen. So folks are like, oh, why are they looting in Target? Why are they messing up these stores, these big corporations?
Right.
Because these big corporations have been quiet for so long. They've been quiet for so long. We beg for love. We need to stop begging for love and just focus on the respect. So when they understand, they may not love you. Target may not love you,
right,
but they're gonna have to respect your life when it's coming down to their bottom line. If we're gonna complain about it being a capitalistic system, then understand that you need to operate in capitalistic ways or affect the capitalistic economy in order to get change. So if a black man getting killed in the street doesn't affect their business,
right,
then why should a business that's for profit care about it?
Exactly.
But if a black person being killed in the street affects their bottom line, it affects how much they're bringing in, they're gonna have to lay people off, then now it's in their best interest to make sure that this isn't occurring. And then you're seeing the same thing with the NFL. The NFL is realizing that they were on the wrong side of history.
Right.
12 months ago, 24 months ago, Black Lives Matter wasn't really a huge thing. It wasn't necessarily politically correct to be radical in terms of Black Lives Matter. But now they see that it's politically correct, it's socially correct to be radical almost when it comes to just the value of Black lives. So what does that do for a company or industry like the NFL? That puts them in a position where now they realize, oh, our money's about to be messed up. Because who wants to advertise with a league that's associated with oppressing black people right now? So they understand that. So now that's why the commissioner came out and he says, oh, we apologize for not hearing y'all, we respect this and that. But they know that you can't go into an NFL season and really get advertisers or really get sponsors, because nobody wants to be associated with the league that falls into that category right now because they understand that it's bad for business. So that's why they're stepping out and saying, oh, we take it all back, we respect y'all. But you can't support Black lives, but you still out here heavily supporting Trump when his politics are vastly against Black people. Same thing also. They never, still even in the apology, never apologized to Kaepernick. So how can you say I'm sorry, but you never even apologize for what sparked what you're supposed to be apologizing for? So in a league where about 70% of the entire league are Black, they had to come out and say that, because also now with the times, these Black players are saying, okay, we got to do something. Now I'm F it. However much they want to find me, I'm kneeling this year. So if 70% of your entire league are Black people, it's to a place where you can't even control it. You can't put the whole entire league on the bench.
Right.
So economically, they had to make that change.
Right, and the thing that they're protesting about, or protesting for, is the right to live without somebody's knee on their throat. I mean, it's not like they're trying to go out and get like something extra. Like they just want to be like, right. They try to just take breaths, they're trying to breathe. Like that shouldn't be a thing that somebody's like, hold up, all lives matter. Like you shouldn't come out your mouth side with it. I hate that they did the first time. Now I'm happy that they're checking people. Like you can't even come out your mouth nothing besides like, hey, this is the issue. Anything else is divisive and trying to take away from it, and we ain't feeling it. And I love that energy, you know what I mean?
Well, I know you got more questions.
No, go ahead.
Well, but there is a problem though. We need to pay attention to the movement not being hijacked. Mm-hmm. That's one thing that we do need to pay attention to. So been on the ground, seeing how everything has, as far as the protests and the riots have been going on the front lines, at least in Atlanta. You have a lot of people come out that you probably wouldn't expect to come out. And so it's Black people out there, but there's been times where there's been more white people out there than Black people, or just different races out there than Black people. And I'm fine with that if it's in alignment with what we're actually fighting for.
Right.
But what you'll see is sometimes they'll slowly start to insert what their actual agenda is. Right. So let's say I'm at a protest and it's for George Floyd. But then you see people with stickers. It says Trump Pence must go. It's important. It's politics.
Right.
In a way, it overlaps or intersects.
Right.
But that's not specifically what we came here for. Right. We came here for talk about police brutality. Of course, it's connected to the broader system. But who said we were voting for whoever you may be saying is the correct candidate? So that's slowly starting to be pushed within there, or trying to make it a movement where it's trying to put it towards feminism. Mm-hmm. You know, women's rights are very important, but don't try to insert that in something that's not the focus of why we're here. So that's one thing that we have to pay attention to in the midst of what are we protesting for, what are we rioting for, because everybody may not be out there for the same thing. There's a lot of people that have just been pissed off.
Right.
And
they've been in the house.
Right.
They've the virus.
Yeah, they've been in the house. They just been pissed off. And some people just been looking for a party. But it's a lot of folks that just, they might have just been mad at Trump, or they might have just been mad at whoever. So it's just like, okay, I'm going out here because I don't like the system as a whole. But they might burn something down because of Trump, which it could be in alignment with the movement, but it's always important to assess, like, what are you really here for in the midst of it?
When it's time for the tangibles, you gotta be real specific on who's getting what. When you start diluting it with, people of color, ethnic people, like, nah, you gotta be real specific. Ethnic people, not who's getting killed like that. Like, it's so crazy because it's not even like a new thing for us. It's like just like regular life, but it's just like the corona, the elections, everything's just like this perfect storm of everybody having to look at this and being aware of what's going on. So it's like, yes, a lot of people lighting the political fires, trying to get people out to the polling stations to vote for whatever candidate. And what are your thoughts on the voting process? Like,
in what way?
I mean, like, cause I've always voted, but I'm like not real heavy on it right now because I've always voted blindly. Like, I've never done the real research into candidates to see. And I always felt like we should have a candidate who's our guy? Like, who are we getting behind as, you know, in general? We don't ever move like that, it seems like. Everybody's like, well, I like, who's supporting the issues that we care about, you know what I mean? So I never, you know, I don't get into it too much now, but I think it can be helpful if we, cause like for instance, like they just had in St. Louis, they just had a new black mayor, lady mayor, first female black mayor of, I can't think of the town, but one of the popular towns where they just had some racist stuff. But the Mike Brown thing happened, I think, out there in Ferguson. Yeah, so I'm like, that's kind of a symbolic thing if she's not really gonna be in there supporting any issue. We always get this, the first black or the first woman, the first black woman. We get a lot of these symbolic gestures, but are they really doing anything? So I'm like, what's a solution-based thing that we can do as far as participating in voting or?
All right, so I'm not one of these people to say don't go out and vote, because you know, looking back historically, they were great efforts to make sure that we weren't able to vote at all. So when we completely remove ourselves from the system, it's just like, oh, thanks. You know, we was hoping y'all would do that. But though we do need to be using our votes to support people who are actually caring about us, instead of just saying, all right, they're Democrats, so we're gonna go in there and just give them the vote willy-nilly. Because a lot of folks don't know that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, they actually reversed at one point in the sense of who we felt were on our best side, and then the Democratic Party started pandering to us in ways to gain our vote. But it's, you know, when you look at who was in the Civil War, who was trying to maintain slavery, that was Democratic Party.
Right.
But you know, we just don't see that today. Our biggest thing though is we don't necessarily sponsor many candidates. We don't put a lot of money behind them. So even if somebody had the greatest intentions in the world, if they don't have the resources to execute what it is that you want them to execute, then they can't do anything. So, like if y'all voted me as president tomorrow, now of course the House and Senate, they gonna have their thing, but what I'm able to actually do, if I need resources and there's nobody putting the resources behind me for the efforts, then my hands are tied in a way. Right. So we gotta be voting for people who's in our best interest, but also getting to a place where we're actually financially contributing to those campaigns. Because at the end of the day, you know, whether you like it or not, money talks, but money is power as well.
Absolutely, and that's what I was saying. Like, even if you get a black candidate, if they're being funded by white corporations, they gotta abide to those issues. They gotta look to those issues first if you're not actually funding their campaign once they get into office. So that's part of the issue. But I'm feeling a little hungry.
I've been
Damn.
We don't want to keep this thing too serious. We want to definitely get into some cereal, man. You know, here at Big Bowls Park, we like to get into folks' cereal background. What's some of your all-time favorite cereal coming up or even to this day?
All right, so I'm gonna go, it varies on the moods, man. Okay, so you gotta go with Tony the Tiger, Frosted Flakes.
Right on.
Solid.
Great.
Tony's right.
Great.
Okay. Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Right on.
Solid. Captain Crunch, yes, depending on my mood on that one.
Right.
Depending on my mood. Lucky Charms, I eat Lucky Charms, but it's a lot of air.
Right,
you know, you really just
A lot of kibble.
you're doing it for the marshmallows. But I'm gonna go with Frosted Flakes the most, because it can hold you over. You got a little bit of weight to it.
I like to slice up a little bananas in my Frosted Flakes. You know, it just depends on how you like your cereal.
But yeah, then also when it comes to cereal, I refuse to eat just plain cereal. You know, the kind where it's just nothing in it at all.
Right.
Because growing up, and no disrespect to my stepmom, because you know I love my stepmom. But what I used to hate though is she used to buy the cereal, but without any flavor at all. And then we used to have but I can understand that for health issues.
Right.
But then we used to have the bag of sugar with it. So, you know, as a kid, I'd be mad, like, hey, she couldn't spend an extra 50 cents, so we could just go ahead and, because you bought the sugar, you know what I'm saying?
I may overpour, like.
Yeah, you done bought the sugar, so I know you spent at least 50 cents to $1 for this whole sugar that I gotta pour on here, so you just couldn't go ahead and just get it with it. So, and then once you get done, you gotta scrape the sugar out at the bottom of the bowl. It's just sitting there. So yeah.
Flavor saver.
So as an adult, as an adult, I tell myself I'm never buying any of that cereal because I used to be so mad with having to pour all that and then the milk turn all yellow and everything. So yeah. What y'all got today though?
All right, we're gonna see what we got this week on Big Bowls. Paul, let me get a little drum roll. All right, hold on to these bombs.
Okay, okay.
Blueberry, Lego, my ego. Waffle cereal.
That's nothing but honeycombs, but okay.
Honeycomb with a splash of blueberry, maybe. But these are Eggos, Kellogg's. Is honeycombs Kellogg's too? They might be running the okie doke on us.
Yeah, you know, the honeycombs that no one
It
bought.
might be.
Hold on,
Okay.
they're trying to bite a little bit off the Cinnamon Toast Crunch with the people and hold up.
They got eyes
Yeah,
each other.
Yeah, that's a little bit Cinnamon Toast Crunchy on the
Might be
advertisement.
pretty good though.
Word. Take a red. Get right.
Been looking forward to this bowl.
Man, I want to see what these blueberry waffle joints are sitting on. Okay, they feel light and fluffy.
So what cereal was y'all favorite growing up as children?
I'm a big Frosted Flakes fan myself, even to this day. Captain Crunch with the berries.
I was with Captain Crunch, and then when the berries came out with the berries, yeah, we switched right over. I was on honeycomb, pops,
is
Cocoa
heavy.
Puffs.
The Pops, yeah.
We got almond and 2%, whatever floats your bowl around here. Spoon.
Clearly I was hungrier than both of y'all.
Yeah, you got a big bowl.
Right.
Ain't mad at that.
We've been doing this.
Set that
We
thing
don't
up.
never know. You never know if this looks like it's gonna be solid though. This looks like it's gonna be solid. Which one you want?
Oh, almond.
Alright. Step back. Try one potato chip style.
You know, almond milk is definitely a marketing ploy
I figured as much, but
because they don't have nipples.
Hilarious! I'm trying to tell you how you make nuts. Make milk, but hey.
nuts. This is
I'm just
a
saying.
long process. Oh, not that long.
Over your head, hey. Hilarious. These honeycombs, I see you now.
Yeah, they got a very honeycombish vibe.
They good though. I should got a bigger bowl.
You good?
Okay, Eggo. I ain't really getting the Eggo feel. I'm getting a honeycomb feel.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Yeah,
tell you,
yeah.
I love honeycombs, and these are great. Honeycombs right here.
I don't seem like you really let them get soggy for too long. Mess around until it's turned into oatmeal or something. All right, we got a little get to know you section while we eat cereal. What's your favorite meal of the day? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Definitely a solid breakfast. Yeah, if it's a good breakfast, you can really have a solid breakfast for all three. You know, you don't really want to eat a big huge plate in the morning like that. At least myself. You know, you don't want to have a Thanksgiving plate on the and whatever time you waking up. But you know, solid breakfast any day of the week.
I was gonna say, because it seems like it's a type of food, but I was gonna say, is it the type of food or the time of day?
Really type of food.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really type of food.
Right.
Cause you know we done got creative with the breakfast. You know, chicken and waffles. You know that's somebody who really just said, you know, I'm gonna make the best of both worlds.
Leftover chicken.
Got some leftovers, right? We ain't got no sausage. Hold up, bring that chicken over here. What's your favorite time of the day to eat cereal?
Late at night. Yeah, definitely late at night. But late at night, so late, it's morning time.
Right.
That's the best time. Cause I remember that bring back memories of having to sneak in the kitchen as a kid. Trying to open that bag up, the bag all loud, you know.
Everything make noise when you're trying to be quiet. If you could have a bowl of cereal with anybody, dead or alive, cereal and conversation,
Man,
who you having a bowl with?
right. great question. Man. I'm gonna come back on that one. That's gonna take me a minute.
All right, peanut butter and jelly. When making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, do you prefer a spoon or a butter knife?
Definitely a butter knife.
I follow this man anyway.
Cause I mean, hey, cause when you got the spoon,
The promised land we go.
the spoon is frustrating. It get the one if you got the cheap bread. If you got cheap bread,
Nah, spoon ain't gonna work.
that spoon gonna be a problem. If you got that cheap bread.
Holes right in it.
Cause you scooping holes. And then so that's just with the peanut butter side. But then when you got the jelly, you gotta spread the jelly out. So then that's another problem because you out here trying to press the jelly down.
Yeah, scooping soft little.
Scoopability though.
Right.
Right. Too much because you got the scoop. Now you
It's just a
over
big
scooping.
blob on there. So but now you messing up the bread because you're trying to press
Break
the
the
blob
blob
down.
down. Like,
Yeah.
man.
So definitely
Struggle.
butter knife all day.
All right. Everybody's not perfect. Do you keep ketchup or other condiments in the refrigerator or the cabinet?
It's a mix. I'm naturally inclined to go with the refrigerator, but when I think about it twice, I put it in the cabinet.
Makes sense.
So that's what I do.
I found it on the counter. I bought it. I put it back on
Nah, cause it's like you got a hot meal and then you go in there for the barbecue sauce,
Put ice on it.
but the barbecue sauce cold. It's just like, why did I do that? It didn't need to be in there in the first place. So
You guys better read the bottle. Some of them say refrigerator after opening. Not all of them are preference. Oh man, what's your favorite like corner store snack?
probably Oreos or Reese's for myself. Oreos or Reese's, cause I found myself. This is like probably a couple of days ago. Just in the West End at 3 o'clock in the morning, walking to the corner store for a pack of Reese's or Oreos, and then I was on the phone, so I'm thinking to myself, I got a problem.
Yeah, because y'all was saying he's in a dangerous area at 3 in the morning.
Why am I
For Oreos.
walking into a convenience store at 3 o'clock in the morning on the West End where they for some Oreos or some Reese's? This is a problem. So I really had to reflect on, do I need to get some help? You feel me?
Yes.
All right. Another topic I like to ask people about as far as social media. 'Cause social media, I mean, it's just a thing, but it can do so many great things. It can do so many harmful things depending on, So, in your opinion, do you think social media is killing relationships or does it help kind of build relationships?
Social media only puts a spotlight on what's already going on. So similar with police brutality, same thing with your relationship. You can't blame your relationship. You can't blame social media on your relationship.
Right.
It's like this. If I buy a car, right? I can either drive to Walmart or I could drive to a side chick house.
Right.
But I can't blame the car.
The car made me do it. She likes my car, baby. She likes my car.
So if somebody's sliding in DMs or they liking a whole bunch of pictures they ain't supposed to like, you can't blame social media. It just was the vehicle
Vehicle allowed her to do that.
that helped you get to the DMs. That's all it was. That's all.
What you did with it was your choice.
Yeah. So you can't blame social media. I mean,
I always feel like, it definitely helps with like business relationships as far as building and stuff
Yeah.
is concerned, but personal relationships, sometimes it can take a toll. Like, hold on, did you
Right.
unfollow me?
yeah. I mean, but it's something we shouldn't even be really spending too much time on because
Right.
black men don't cheat anyway.
Right.
So
Hey,
I don't really
Jim.
I don't really see
Add that to your morning
how that's
tea.
even.
It was every conversation. Conversation's over. Everything that followed under that.
I don't get that.
That kind of segues to my next couple of questions. Though. All right, we're still kind of on our way out of a quarantine, you know what I mean? We're kind of out of it, but you know, some people are still quarantined and whatever. All right, say, you know, supplies are limited. Could you live with an ex if they had all the supplies that you needed, you know, in this time, in these quarantine times?
I could. Yeah, I could. Cause I think, yeah, I mean, all of my like people that I would consider exes, they're people I still respect. It's just we had to part ways for whatever reason, but it's still people I respect.
Right.
So I could do it. Yeah, I could do it. You know what I'm saying? I also feel like if all your exes ain't shit,
Right.
then you gotta reevaluate yourself. What is
I ain't shit either. Fuck. Why I gotta stay with this bitch anyways?
but I
Bad decision.
I'm not saying that if all your exes ain't shit, that means that you ain't shit. But I am saying that there is something about you that's allowing ain't shit people to be in your life at the bare minimum.
At the least.
At the least. But yeah, I could do it. I could do it.
All right, man. Last but certainly not least, I like to ask this. You know, say you're courting a female. You know what I mean? You just met somebody that you like. How long do you think is proper before going for the butt grab during a hug? Like, is there like
I'ma feel the chemistry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It ain't gonna be on no weirdo creep stuff, but I'ma feel out the vibe.
Like
you
she
know,
just sit down, you slide your hand.
Nah,
my bad.
nah.
You just sat on my.
My head was there already.
Nah, I'ma feel the vibe, and then you know, the first butt feel is probably gonna be in like a long hug.
Yeah, you just get the little slide.
It's cause it's one of those. It's one of those where you start with the nice warm grip. You know,
Right.
she already appreciating the fact that she being held, she being secure.
Right.
You know, if she feeling you, she gonna smell whatever. You know, your scent or your cologne. So she already there. You know what I'm saying? So you let the top half marinate.
Season her up, butter her up.
That's when she gonna start rubbing your back. You feel me? When she start rubbing your back,
This is gonna lead to more than the butt grab.
if you hear like a hum or something like that, you already all the way there.
You're going there.
You know,
Game over.
Home run.
You know, if you hear like a slight moan, you be like, huh? And she's like, nothing. You like,
Yeah, it's done. It's done. Go ahead, just run all the bases. Head home.
I'm saying, easy.
In the field home run.
That might be the green light.
Oh,
Ease
man.
your way down.
Hilarious.
So,
All right, man.
but if she said, why you hold me like this so long?
This is wrong.
Walk away.
You blew it. Excuse me.
You might have just been friend zoned it.
Or if she take a phone call in the middle,
I gotta take this. This is way more important than this hug. Wow.
All right, man.
yeah.
So we got Kellogg's Eggo Blueberry Waffle cereal in the building today. You know, my man's still going. He ain't put it down yet. It seems like he's enjoying his bowls, and I swear I seen you refill that.
What?
I was doing stuff. I was interviewing, but I swear I seen you do that again. I don't know. It's still empty. I'm empty. We got a 0 to 5 bowl rating system. Half a bowl, anything in between. What do you rate?
You know, them grains.
Lost half a point right
He's
there.
lost. You trying
man.
to kill him, man. Hold up. Somebody's losing. Might be going down. One of them crystals. Blueberry crystals done came off.
All right, we there.
Alright. What you giving Eggo blueberry waffle cereal?
I got a biased opinion at the moment because I came in here very hungry.
Hitting the spot.
Great.
I came
Everything
in
tastes like
here.
Frosted Flakes.
So, I mean, based off this biased opinion, I'm gonna give him about an 8.
Hey, this is a 1 to 5.
0 to 5. 0 to 5.
Oh my bad, I thought we was on a scale of 10. We're gonna give him a 3.5. 3.5.
That's it's like a B.
So what you thinking?
Man, you know, I did pour up twice.
You did. You said it was very honeycombish.
Man, and I was gonna pull up 3 times, but I just didn't want to, be rude. But I'm giving you the 4.
Oh,
Okay.
I kind of felt 4
I would have
vibes.
went 5 if they wasn't knocking honeycombs.
Right.
These go hard though.
But like all the honeycombs are gone. you still
I mean,
got some right here.
I might have given a 4 if I was on a full stomach when I came in. So
Yeah,
I
right.
just-
He can't tell.
I just want to have some balance to it.
You know, I made a granola bar before. You know what I mean? This is it. This is the one.
I like them. I don't know if I'd buy them. I don't know if they're gonna make my shelf like, oh, pass me that box of them again. But they taste good for sure. So I'm gonna follow suit and go 3.5. They definitely solid. They worth the buy. If you like blueberry, if you like honeycombs, these is it. I gotta find out if they're using the same recipe.
Same recipe. They just do.
I feel like they just added some blueberry sprinkles on there.
Right.
So you guys check it out. It's new. It's in the stores. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to see us eating. You know what I mean? One thing I guess we're coming through, man.
Yes, sir.
60 seconds ain't
Appreciate
enough,
y'all
man.
having
You know what I mean? Justin Blue in the building. Make sure you guys are following him on all social. Is it just the Instagram for the most part?
No,
Twitter?
everything.
Okay, everything.
Yeah, Justin BLU _ Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Justin Blue University, and then just for everything, JustinBlue.com, JustinBLU.com. And so, Speak to Our Sons mentorship series, very important. A lot of vital information in there for all ages, but especially for young males. And then also have the Knowledge Mafia book club. So
Yeah, I
Knowledge
meant to bring
Book
that up. The
Club.
Knowledge Mafia Book Club. Is that something that y'all act? Is that in person? That's online? Is that something that y'all actually get together and exchange
It's gonna be
ideas?
online, and then we're gonna grow into meeting up and things in physical.
Okay.
But a lot of people always ask me about books, and so I've read a lot of books, and I just have extensive knowledge because going through undergrad and going to grad school. So really, it's gonna be lecture style at times, but also bringing other experts in, and we're gonna have things like meditation, and we're gonna start off with Sundays and just getting people's week right, but also we're gonna be focused on empowering. So it's gonna be about growth and empowerment. So we're gonna focus on different self-help books, but then there's gonna be things that are letting you know what's going on out here. So just building that community around that. So the Knowledge Mafia, we building up the mafia. So
Alright, I'm looking
yeah.
forward to that. 'Cause
Justin, so you can check that out on JustinBlue.com as well.
I'm real big on audiobooks. Is that gonna be an option?
Yeah, do your thing. I got an Audible account, and I got a whole bunch
Okay.
of books in there.
There we go.
And I listen to those,
Right
and
on.
I read too. Like, sometimes I listen to more audio.
Right.
Because
Because it's easier when you're moving around. You can kind of just get it in your ears versus, alright.
Yeah, you gotta just whatever works. Because there's certain books that I know I'll probably never read as far as a physical copy.
Right.
But if I had an audio, I can run through it, especially on a road trip, stuff like that. So however you can get it in, just get it in as long as you get the information. So
So make sure you guys follow us at Big Bowls Pause. See you guys here next week.
peace.